Good afternoon, good evening. Thank you for joining us for our City Council meeting for today, which is Monday, November the 6th. We're going to go ahead and get started, but before we do, I'm going to remind you of how to get access to the agenda and documents for today. It should be somewhere right behind this glass rotunda, but there are QR codes on the glass doors that you can scan and follow along electronically with your devices. At this time, I'm going to ask that the individual filling in for Pastor Paul Little, that person is going to be Lawrence Spurgeon. You can call him Reverend Spurgeon today. He's going to be doing the opening prayer for us. He's one of the city's own. He is our interim director of general administration. And then we have the Pledge of Allegiance to be done by Veterans High School Air Force Junior ROTC. So if we will all please stand so that Spurgeon can lead us in prayer.
Bow your heads, please. Dear Heavenly Fathers, once again we come to you with bowed heads and humble hearts, thanking you for the multiplicity of blessings you have bestowed upon us. We thank you for allowing us to wake up this day in our right minds and with a reasonable portion of health and strength. We thank you for allowing us to live in the greatest country on earth that is free and brave. We just thank you for that. We ask that you put a hedge of protection around every family that is represented here today. We ask that you forgive us of our trespasses and that we forgive those who've trespassed against us. We thank you for food and nourishment that you've given us today. We thank you for the roof that you put over our heads, and just remind us that those of us who are not as blessed as we are. We ask that you bless this meeting, keep our speech humble and our thoughts humble, and remember that we're doing your work. Bless the leader of our city. Put a hedge of protection around her, and just send angels to keep her uplifted in the work that she's doing. In Jesus' name we pray, amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may be seated. Thank you to the Veterans High School Air Force Junior ROTC for leading us with the pledge, and thank you, Mr. Lawrence Spurgeon, for leading us in prayer. I now officially call the meeting to order. Thank you all for coming to join us today for the City Council meeting. And I'm going to now request a motion to adopt the agenda.
Make a motion we adopt the agenda, Mayor.
Motion by Councilman Lashley, seconded by Councilman Holmes. All in favor, please state aye and raise your hand. Aye. Motion carries. All right, and now time for announcements. I have an announcement, but I'm going to, is CVB here still? CVB. For announcement, I'm going to ask Miss Lara Moncrief from CVB to come make an announcement about Christmas.
Good evening, everyone. So our Christmas tree lighting ceremony is going to be November 30th from 5 to 7:30 p.m. at Perkins Field. We are going to light the tree, have a couple of the choirs come out to sing, and have some food trucks. And then December 2nd at 10 a.m. is going to be our Christmas parade. So if you know anybody that wants to register for it, please visit warnerrobins.org, and you can sign up for the parade.
Thank you, Ms. Moncrief. So don't forget, mark your calendars, Thursday, November 30th, the last day of November, is when we're having our Christmas tree lighting at our Perkins Field, which is going to be our new Christmas tree park. The decorations are going up right now. It's going to be really awesome, so make sure you're there. Tell all your friends to come. And then the parade is that same week, the first Saturday of December, as always, during the traditional time for the city of Warner Robins, which is the time that we have on the books for years to shut down Watson Boulevard from the state. So this is not something we can just change. It's something that we already have on the books for years. So we have to keep it at 10 o'clock. I want to make sure I tell you all that because everyone's like, why is Perry and Warner Robins doing theirs at the same time? Well, Warner Robins is doing our traditional time that we've always done whenever we've had it. And we have to do that because of Watson Boulevard and shutting it down as far as what the state gives us permission to do in those time constraints. All right, now we're going to move on to proclamations, awards, and presentations. I have 4 of them. I'm going to go ahead and call them all out before I leave this spot and go over to the podium. We have a presentation of the MDA check presentation, which I believe will be done by our Warner Robins Fire Department. Then we have a proclamation for Miss Georgia Senior 70s, and then a proclamation for National Hospice and Palliative Care Month. And then we have a proclamation for Veterans High School DECA Week. So for those who are doing the MDA check presentation, please go ahead and approach the podium. And the floor is yours.
Thank you. I'm Bridget Monroe with the Muscular Dystrophy Association. I'm trying to figure out, oh, there it is. Like, where's the screen? We have a short video. While he's loading that and getting it ready, I'll share a few things. I appreciate the opportunity to come to the City Council meeting at the end of each year and recognize the Warner Robins Fire Department and the city for their support of MDA. This marks the 34th year that the fire department has supported MDA, and since 1989, gosh, that seems so long ago, since 1989, almost $3.4 million this community has raised for MDA. So I want to say thank you on behalf of every family that we serve. Thank you for your support. I have a short video, and then I'll wrap things up for you. Technical difficulties. While he's working on that, I'll continue to share just a few other things. So our MDA has been around for over 70 years, and as our #1 partner, firefighters have been filling the boot across the country since our inception. And the support that's raised, or the support that this community is providing to families kind of reaches a couple of different areas, and I love to share progress, right? Progress. The only thing that is constant is change, right? So last time I was here, I shared that I think we had 3 drugs in 2022 that the FDA approved for treatments for forms of muscular dystrophy. There's over 300 types of muscular dystrophy. Most people don't realize that, but we're still considered a rare disease. But I'm happy to share in 2023 to date, so as of November the 6th, there have been 8 more drugs that the FDA has approved for things like Friedreich's ataxia, Duchenne muscular dystrophy, and Lou Gehrig's disease, and a couple of others as well. That's just super exciting. And to kind of put it into perspective, I've been with MDA for 22 years, and when I started, there was 1 drug that had been approved by the FDA. So, and since 2015, there's, gosh, lots, over 20-something now. So, very exciting things. We also have our MDA care centers. So we have 150 care centers across the country that the money that's being raised is providing that service to our families. Our summer camp program, every child that's registered with MDA, and there is no cost to register with MDA, they can attend either in person or a virtual summer camp that is for 8 to 17-year-olds. We have a resource center where families can reach out for everything from how do I apply for SSI? How does my child go off to school and live independently? What are some resources in my community that can help my family that's going through, the transition of now independent living because of these drug approvals? children and adults are living longer, and that's a great problem to have. So, and then advocacy. So we have a big department at MDA that is in Washington fighting for things like accessible air travel. You think about, like, all of you probably been on an airplane maybe once in your life, twice, I don't know, may fly a lot. Imagine being in a wheelchair. Imagine having to use the restroom on an airplane when you're in a chair. So there's all kinds of things happening right now at the White House to make traveling more accessible for all people with disabilities, not just with neuromuscular diseases. And then the other thing, just with advocacy, that's really exciting is because of these drug approvals, the earlier that you're diagnosed with something, the earlier that you can begin receiving drugs that will change the trajectory of your life. And there's a couple of drugs, like when you have a baby, they screen you and they say your baby has Down syndrome or your baby has this or that. Well, because there's drugs now available, MDA is lifting that up to lawmakers to have a couple of these diseases added to that panel. So Duchenne muscular dystrophy is one that there's now a couple of treatment options available, and that is state by state working on getting it passed to be added to the panel. So just exciting things that wouldn't happen, without the support of all of you that are here with us in Warner Robins, and we're still having technical difficulties down here. So, yeah, the other thing I just wanted to share was this department, as you guys know, you go to Walmart. If you go to Walmart on any given weekend from, February, March time frame all the way up to August, or your company bought a T-sign or played golf or donated an item for their annual golf tournament to benefit MDA, we just want to say thank you. Like, it takes a village, and this community rallies together to support this department who, since 1989, has chosen MDA as their charity to fight the good fight with and to keep making forward progress for all of the families that we serve. So I just want to turn it over to Chief Mock just to say a few things, and then the firefighters, if you guys can come in here, they want to present their fundraising efforts from this year to MDA.
Thank you, Ms. Bridget. We'll do it up front here in the middle. That way, everybody, you can be front and center. Again, I just want to thank all of our patrons and all of our citizens. We are just the hands and feet of this process. They are the ones that put the money in. Like Ms. Bridget said, we go out there from March all the way to August, once a month. And it's very hot sometimes, but when the guys see these pictures and they go to these camps, all that kind of fades away. So I know some of our citizens and I know some people on city council have personally experienced with this disease, and it's a dreadful thing, and praise Jesus, one day it'll be healed. So we, again, want to thank Ms. Bridget for her support. Again, most importantly, we want to thank the citizens for all their support, and we want to present MDA with this beautiful check. Ms. Bridget, if you just go out front, and we'll let Chief Angel turn it around, and we'll make the announcement of the amount for Muscular Dystrophy Association. All right, we're presenting MDA with a check of $66,500. Yes, Mayor and Council, if you want to come down and take pictures, please do. We can't do this without y'all's support. Let's go. Gotta be behind you. No.
As you guys walk out, fire department, just want to say thank you guys so much for your time and devotion, and for the city allowing you guys to sit out and to collect money. You guys know that this makes me cry every year for the simple fact that I lost my daughter at the age of 21, 2016, to a form of muscular dystrophy. She had mitochondrial myopathy. My little daughter looked forward every year to go to those camps. And because you guys sat out and took donations, my daughter was able to go to that camp every year and to enjoy herself, to be free, to be away from her mom and daddy, and to party it down, and as she says. And so I want to thank you for making a difference, and I think about that to the kids that are affected even today. And in memory of my daughter, thank you guys so much for your devotion and dedication to the MDA. Thank you, Bridget, for being our liaison in this community and keeping us aware of what's going on and making a difference in other people's lives. You definitely made a difference in the life of the Bibb family. Thank you.
Thank you, and congratulations again. Thank you for sharing that story, Councilman Bibb. All right, and thank you to all of the firemen, all of our fire department who participated in making that donation possible. Thank you for all that you do every single day and for supporting the MDA. All right, so now we're going to move on to the next item on the agenda, which is a proclamation for Miss Georgia Senior 70s Day. So there is someone here to accept this, and she is one of our queens. So, Queen, you can come stand here or stand here as I read this proclamation, but I'm going to go ahead and get started. All right, so we have a proclamation for Miss Georgia 70s Day. Whereas the Miss Senior World pageant is more than a competition, it's a vibrant celebration of the grace, wisdom, and community spirit that women aged 50 to 79 bring to the world. And whereas the pageant brings women aged 50 to 79 together to boost confidence, have fun, and make new friends, and allow them an outlet to share platform issues that are important to them with their communities, states, and the world. And whereas the pageant shows the world the value senior women bring to their communities, their state, and the world. And whereas the pageant educates and empowers the delegate women and the pageant audience by showcasing to the world what can be accomplished in and through senior women. And whereas the pageant provides women with strong leadership skills needed to embrace roles as mentors and volunteers throughout their state and region. And whereas, be it resolved that Rena Kennedy Laster, did I say it right? A citizen of Warner Robins, Georgia, is the reigning 2023 Miss Georgia Senior World 70s. She is also a Miss Senior World delegate who is inspiring women and families and communities by serving others through her platform, I See You, collecting stories of overcoming trauma and adversity. Her platform will focus on inspiring, collaborating with, and promoting issues regarding veterans, mental health, and families. She will compete for the title of Miss Senior World 2024 during the week of October 30th to November the 4th in Biloxi, Mississippi, representing Warner Robins and the great state of Georgia. Now, therefore, I, LaRonda Patrick, Mayor of Warner Robins, do hereby proclaim, that's just our firemen leaving. Now, therefore, I, LaRonda Patrick, Mayor of the City of Warner Robins, do hereby proclaim the day of October 16th, 2023 as Miss Georgia Senior 70s Day, and I call upon the citizens of Warner Robins to observe the day in an appropriate manner honoring the Queen, Ms. Rena Kennedy Lester, as an ambassador for the state of Georgia, representing women aged 50 to 79 in the upcoming pageant. Congratulations, Ms. Queen, on your accomplishments and representing us so beautifully in Biloxi, Mississippi. And we wish that you will continue your journey in representing our state and our city in the Miss Senior World pageant going forward. Congratulations. Join me in congratulating her, please. Okay, she's going to tell you.
The pageant was held last week with phenomenal women ages 50 to 70. I'm 70, and I am representing how gracefully we can age and with wisdom. I won. I did not win the crown, overall crown, but I did win the Global Mentorship Award for all of the efforts and all of the work that I do in the community and even with the mayor here and in Georgia. So I am well connected, and I am looking forward to continue to work and show how vibrant women aged 70 and above can be.
All right, now we have a proclamation for the National Hospice and Palliative Care Month. Sure, you can come right here, you can come right there. Some people go there, and some people come here. Some people like to be seen. Okay, they're going to go there. Perfect. Okay. All right, so I'm going to say the proclamation, and then I will allow whoever wants to come over to say some words if you'd like. Yeah? Perfect. All right, so this is for National Hospice and Palliative Care Month, November 2023. Whereas, for more than 40 years, hospice has helped provide comfort and dignity to millions of people, allowing them to spend their final months at home surrounded by their loved ones. And whereas, the hospice model involves an interdisciplinary, team-oriented approach to treatment, including expert medical care, quality symptom control, and comprehensive pain management as a foundation of care. And whereas, beyond providing physical treatment, hospice attends to the patient's emotional, spiritual, and family needs and provides family services such as respite care and bereavement counseling. And whereas, since its conception, the hospice benefits holistic approach. That's a tongue twister. Let me say that again. Whereas, since its conception, the hospice benefits holistic approach has helped patients prepare to face death and their loved ones carry on support in the wake of it. And whereas, palliative care improves the quality of life and offers relief from pain, can be provided at any time during an illness, and hospices are some of the best providers of community-based palliative care. And whereas the central philosophy of hospice care puts patients first, ensuring coordinated person-centered approach to care, protecting patient choice, and access to individualized services based on the patient's unique care needs and wishes. Now, therefore, I, LaRonda Patrick, Mayor of Warner Robins, do hereby proclaim the month of November as National Hospice and Palliative Care Month and encourage citizens to increase their understanding and awareness of care at the end of life, discuss their end-of-life wishes with their families, and observe this month with appropriate activities and programs. Please join me in congratulating the team here for all that they do, thanking them for all they do, and congratulating them for this National Hospice and Palliative Care Month in the city of Warner Robins. And if you'd like to come say some words before I give you the proclamation.
Hi, I'm Michelle. We are with Pine Point Hospice. We are the oldest nonprofit in the area with an inpatient unit. Even though it's in Macon, most of us live down here because this is where the cool kids live. So we just wanted to say thank you. It is National Hospice and Palliative Care Month, and it's just a part of making sure that the message is out and it reaches everyone, kids and adults, because it's relevant. It's the one thing we all have in common. So thank you so much.
All right, and now we have a proclamation for the Veterans High School DECA Week. All right, everyone who's here to accept that, if you just come to the middle of the floor. All right. So this is for VHS DECA Week, November 13th through 17th, 2023. Whereas November 13th through 17th, 2023 has been designated Veterans High School DECA Week. And whereas the mission of DECA is to prepare emerging leaders and entrepreneurs in marketing, finance, hospitality, and management in high school. And whereas 98% of DECA members report they have gained skills in problem solving. And whereas 97% of DECA members report they have learned how to communicate thoughts and ideas. And whereas 91% of DECA members report that participation in DECA prepared them academically for college and a career. And whereas 92% of DECA members report that DECA experiences empowered them to become an effective leader. And whereas DECA's activities assist in the development of academically prepared, community-oriented, professionally responsible, experienced leaders. And whereas DECA members are poised professionals with ethics, integrity, and high standards. And whereas DECA's attributes and values describe the organization's priorities and standards, including competence, innovation, integrity, and teamwork. And now, therefore, I, LaRonda Patrick, Mayor of Warner Robins, Georgia, do hereby proclaim the week of November 13th through 17th as VHS DECA Week in the city of Warner Robins and Kathleen, and urge all citizens to become familiar with the service and benefits offered by the DECA chapter of Veterans High School and support and participate in these programs to prepare students for college and professional careers. Join me in congratulating these brilliant students for having their very own DECA Week. And before I present the proclamation to you all, I just want to commend you on being involved in extracurriculars at your school and being bold enough to do something that's going to help advance you after you graduate from Veterans High School. All the skills that you're learning here, as you already know from the stats I'm looking at, is going to benefit you some way. And not all of us in this room had an opportunity to do what you have an opportunity to do. So you're starting with an advantage in life. So take full advantage of it while you are in school before they start making you pay to learn the skills at retreats and elsewhere, because we have to pay to learn everything. But so enjoy it while you can. Thanks for being great students And I see all the A's on this sheet, and it probably is a reflection of the A's you guys get in your coursework anyway. So congratulations to you. Always great to see great students in our city excel. All right, so that was fun. Now we're going to move on to the agenda, items 1 through 15. I now request approval of the minutes of the regular meeting to be discussed by Councilman Curtis.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I take it that everyone's had the opportunity to look over the minutes. So with that being said, I make a motion to approve minutes from the regular scheduled meeting of October 16, 2023.
I'll second.
Motion by Councilman Curtis, seconded by Councilman Lashley. All in favor, please state aye and raise your hand.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Mayor, I abstain due to my absence on that date.
Thank you, Councilman. All right, number 2, this is for formal public comments pertaining to the current agenda items only. If you would like to make a comment about an item on our agenda, which will be number 3 through number 15 only, you can now approach the podium. So please make sure it's one of the numbers on the agenda. And please state your name and address when you approach the podium. Please state you do have 3 minutes on the clock. Neither I nor council can respond to you, but we are listening. You have the floor.
Louise McBride, 202 Woodlawn Avenue, Warner Robins, Georgia. I came tonight to thank the mayor for getting Blight started. We did a report in 2019 where we studied what needed to be done in Warner Robins. Now she has taken on the task, and I'm very happy about that. So thank you, Madam Mayor and Council.
Thank you, Ms. McBride.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. My name is Mike Hatcher. I live at 100 Cherokee Forest Trail, and my comment tonight specifically pertains to item number 4 on the agenda, which is the redistricting of the voting precincts. As you all know, Warner Robins is growing, and in the very near future, with the completion of our infrastructure projects, the growth potential is going to be unlimited. Rather than redistricting now, I would ask you to pause on this and consider adding a 7th seat. Adding a 7th seat will benefit the city in several ways. It looks to future growth and creates a new council position for the increased population. It relieves the mayor of the tiebreaker in contested issues and allows the council themselves to make those decisions and allows you to stay neutral. It also relieves the council members from having so many folks to represent. We are a growing community. We all recognize that. And at this particular point in time, we probably have more than the council can handle. Finally, adding a 7th seat will move us forward now so we can get out ahead of the bow wave of this issue and not get caught behind the 8 ball later. So on that, I've still got 1 minute and 44 seconds, and I'd like to kind of shift gears for a second and talk to the community at large, if I can, and the council. I'm as you know, Veterans Day is coming up. I'm sure that not just myself in this room is a combat vet. I know a lot of people are veterans. There are some combat vets here. We swore an oath to defend the Constitution of the United States, and we have fulfilled that, and we're still fulfilling it. One of the biggest things on there that we have the privilege to do that the other countries don't is vote. When I see things on the news that say 1,900 people out of 1,900 people out of 100,000 people have voted, it hurts my heart. I'm sure we've all lost friends. There's people in this room, myself included, have lost friends in defense of that Constitution. The only thing I would tell you is if you really want to honor veterans and people who have died defending that Constitution, don't forego your right to vote. You have an opportunity to do that tomorrow. Please exercise that right. People have died for it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hatcher, and thank you for your service and your sacrifice. Are there any others who'd like to talk about something from the agenda, item 3 through 15? There will be a time at the end of the meeting for general comments from the public. Going once, going twice, 3 times. All right, moving on to number 3, consent agenda to be discussed by Councilman Holmes.
Thank you, Mayor. I have before me a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented. I would like to, however, go through the purchasing as well as the promotions. We have purchasing HP 800 G9 Mini and HP monitors at a cost of $16,330.95. We have street department uniforms at a cost of $10,500. We have Insight Pure Storage body cameras for storage solution at a cost of $267,229.09. We have stormwater cleaning and inspection. These are supplies ordered as needed. There's no cost at this particular time. Protective clothing, annual contract, $20,000 in estimated cost. We also have water meters at a cost of $250,060.39, and this is an estimated cost. Phase 2 environment site assessment at Commercial Circle. This is at a cost of $11,100. Senior Citizens HVAC system at a cost of $13,660. I move for the adoption of the purchasing bid, and I also have we have 6 employees that's being promoted, and I'd like to recognize those individuals for their hard work. Evidently, it's hard for them to get promoted. They wouldn't otherwise they've earned this, in other words. That's the bottom line. They have earned this promotion. Whereas the following employees are recommended for promotion by their respective department directors, whereas the mayor and city council deem such recommendations beneficial. Now, therefore, be it resolved that these promotions be approved as follows. Antonio Burley, promoted from Public Works Maintenance Worker 1 job, Class 452, Grade 8, to Public Works Stormwater to Maintenance Worker 2 Stormwater, job Class 494, Grade 9, Public Works Stormwater to be effective November 13th. The second individual, by number doesn't specific order, Tyler Oglesby, promoted from Customer Service Call Representative, Job Class 152, Grade 8, General Administration to Cashier. Job Class 177, Grade 9, General Administration to be effective November 13th. Chadwick Storm, promoted from Police Officer, Job Class 633, Grade 602, Police Department, to Detective, Job Class 630, 603, Police Department, to be effective November 13th. Elizabeth Smith, promoted from Police Officer, Job Class 633, Grade 602, Police Department, to Detective, Job Class 630, Grade 603, Police Department, to be effective November 13, 2023. Keenan Henderson, promoted from Detective, Job Class 630, Grade 603, Police Department, to Police Sergeant, Job Class 635, Grade 605, Police Department, to be effective November 13. Latisha, please forgive me if I mispronounced that. Latisha Haynes, promoted from Cashier, Tax, Job Class number 128, Grade 9, General Administration to Tax Specialist, Job Class 156, Grade 16, General Administration, to be effective November 13th.
I second it.
Move for the adoption.
Motion by Councilman Holmes, seconded by Councilman Curtis. All in favor, please state aye and raise your hand. Aye. Motion carries unanimously. All right, number 4 is an ordinance for a charter update to, this is the second reading, to be discussed by Councilman Lashley.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. An ordinance of the Mayor and Council of the City of Warner Robins, Georgia, amending Section 5 of the city's Warner Robins Charter regarding elections, whereas pursuant to OCGA 36-35-4.1, the City of Warner Robins seeks reappropriation its election districts as a result of the 2020 census, and whereas the City of Warner Robins adopted ordinance number 16-23 on May 15th, 2023, adopting the boundaries of all precincts as shown on a map entitled Official Map of the Corporate Limits of the City of Warner Robins, Georgia. Whereas OCGA 36-35-4.1b requires such reapportionment to be completed by ordinance amending the city charter pursuant to OCGA 35-35-3, and whereas the notice attached hereto is Exhibit A was published in the Houston Home Journal as required by OCGA 36-35-3, and whereas the proposed charter amendment adopting the redistricting plan was considered and approved by Mayor and Council on October 16, 2023, and November 6, 2023, which resulted in the city adopting the foregoing ordinance, and whereas all requirements of OCGA 36-35-3 and other applicable laws related to the redistricting have been met. It is therefore ordained by the City of Warner Robins that Section 5 of the City of Warner Robins Charter be amended to read as follows. The official voting district boundaries are described on the official map designating voting districts of the City of Warner Robins subsequent to the 2020 decennial census. And territory within the corporate limits of the City of Warner Robins, which was omitted from the map, will be placed with the district which is contiguous. Such map is kept on file in the office of the city clerk. If any ordinance or part thereof of the City of Warner Robins is in conflict herewith, this ordinance shall have preference. If any provision of this ordinance are held invalid, such invalidity shall not affect any of the other provisions which can be given effect without the invalid provision. And to this end, the provisions of this ordinance are declared to be severable. Be it further ordained that this ordinance was first read on October 16, 2023, and duly adopted by the governing authority of the city on November 6, 2023, and shall become effective upon adoption.
I second that motion.
Motion by Councilman Lashley, seconded by Councilman Holmes. Any discussion?
Have we publicized like the actual maps? Like, is there any way to do that? So I know we've done some things with it, but
So when the map was adopted earlier this year, it was on display. I think there were a number of meetings or hearings about that. And then also in the notice and in our code is that the map is available with the city clerk. So yes, sir, that is yes is the answer.
So the redistricting maps were adopted by council some months back. I can't recall what month.
I think it was May.
In the month of May, and we had 3 public hearings that were all held right here in this room, and the maps were on display. Some council members did attend. I think just about everybody attended at least once. And now the reason why it's come up again is for the purpose of changing our charter to reflect the maps that were adopted by council in May, which is a requirement. And the map is silent in our charter as it stands now, but to be in compliance, this is what is required of us. Any other discussions? All right, and just a note, for those of you who may follow what happens at the legislature, the state legislature, our map is not the same as what is up for debate in the special session, which is happening at the General Assembly this month. It's not the same. Ours is mandated. We have to do this by law, so that's why we have done this. The state is going through a different process, and theirs are being challenged. Ours are not challenged. Any further discussion? All right, all those in favor, please state aye and raise your hand.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Sorry, I'm moving stuff around to use my left hand, and I almost read off of an old agenda. Okay. Number 5 is a motion for an alcohol license appeal to be discussed by Councilman Mack.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to make a motion to approve Mr. Pritesh Amin the opportunity to reapply for his alcohol license at 914 Russell Parkway.
I will second that, Mayor.
Motion by Councilman Mack, seconded by Councilman Bibb. Any discussion?
Yes, ma'am. I would just like to note that this is an approval to request. It's not an approval of the license itself. I just want to remind everyone that we're just allowing this gentleman to apply once again.
Any further discussion? All those in favor to allow this individual to reapply, please state aye and raise your hand.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Number 6 is my motion for appointments to the Blight Task Force. Again, as I stated before, the Blight Task Force, this is for the Planning Committee. This is a planning board. The Blight Task Force can have as many individuals who share a common interest in resolving blight in our city. We previously appointed 6, and my motion is to appoint the remaining 3. So I now give a motion to appoint the following individuals to the Blight Task Force Planning Board: Fred Wilson, Karen Rodriguez, and William Rogers Jackson. Is there a second?
I second that motion.
How to say, don't leave me hanging, guys.
I
Don't leave
second,
me
Mayor.
hanging.
And I'll third.
Okay. Seconded by Councilman Mack. Any discussion?
Yes, Mayor. Are there going to be council members assigned to this blight committee? Or are we all going to be welcome to attend these blight meetings?
Great question. All council members are welcome to attend the meeting, but I didn't assign any to the planning board. but you all will always know when those meetings are happening. Thank you. All right, all those in favor, please state aye and raise your hand.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Now I have another motion, number 7, for clergy task force appointments. Again, this is the planning board for the task force. The task force is citywide for anyone who shares a common interest in the clergy task force, who represent clergy in our community. Previously, 6 were appointed. There are 3 more to be appointed and 2 ex officio. And I will now make a motion to appoint the following individuals to the clergy task force: Jordan Poole, Dwayne Evers, Bonnie Underwood, Paul Little, ex officio, Daryl McIntosh, ex officio.
Second that, Mayor.
Motion by me, seconded by Councilman Bibb. Any discussion? The appointment with oh, yes. So there were 3 that were appointed to the board and 2 ex officio. The last name I called was Daryl McIntosh. And then Paul Little. And those are both ex officio. Their churches are outside of the city limits, but they reside in the city. Any further discussion? All those in favor, please state aye and raise your hand.
Aye. Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Number 8 is a resolution for Crestview Road easement. Sorry, messing up. Number 8 is a resolution for Crestview Road easement abandonment to be discussed by Councilman Bibb.
Thank you, Mayor. I make a motion to approve the resolution of the mayor and the council in the city of Warner Robins determined that the described portion of this roadway has ceased to be used by the public to the extent that no substantial public purpose is served by it, and authorizes LaRonda W. Patrick, Mayor, and Mandy Stella, City Clerk, to execute a quick claim deed releasing the city's interest in and to the portion of roadway to be abandoned.
I'll second.
Second.
All right, motion by Councilman Bibb, seconded by Councilman Mack. Any discussion? This is one I probably should have talked about in pre-council, but I didn't. I've heard about it ad nauseum, so I will explain what this is. There is a new apartment complex coming to the part of town that usually doesn't receive apartments, off of Russell Parkway going towards Robins Air Force Base. And there is a portion of road that the developers have requested to have gated off and come into the apartment community. So in order to make that happen, the resolution is submitted and presented for the city to abandon that part of the public road, making it private to the developer. There are no private properties adjacent to that portion of the road. And I, along with Community and Economic Development, City Attorney's Office, the developer, and maybe some others, who else? We all went out to view it to make sure everything was okay. I'm not sure if any executive saw it or not, but just wanted to tell you guys what that was. Any further discussion? All right, all those in favor, please state aye and raise your hand.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Number 9, resolution for Anthem Medical to be discussed by Councilman Holmes.
Thank you, Mayor. I have a motion to approve resolution to authorize Mayor LaRonda Patrick and Ms. Mandy Stella, City Clerk, to execute an agreement with Athens to continue as the administrator for a health insurance plan for year 2024.
I'll second.
Motion by Councilman Holmes, seconded by Councilman Lashley. Any discussion? For those of you listening who may not have been at pre-council, items number 9, 10, 11, and 12 are all regarding the city's health insurance plan. Okay. Any further discussion? All those in favor, please state aye and raise your hand.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Number 10, resolution for Secure Health Plans of Georgia and MedCost Benefit Services to be discussed by Councilman Curtis.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. A motion to approve a resolution to authorize LaRonda Patrick, Mayor, and Mandy Stella, City Clerk, to execute an agreement with Secured Health Plans of Georgia for year 2023.
Second that motion.
Motion by Councilman Curtis, seconded by Councilman Holmes. Any discussion? All those in favor, please state aye and raise your hand.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Number 11, Secure Health Plans of, the same thing. Sorry, I thought I made a mistake. Secure Health Plans of Georgia and MedCost Benefit Services for 2024. The previous was 2023. 2024 is to be discussed by Councilman Lawrenson.
I too would like to motion to approve a resolution to authorize Mayor LaRonda Patrick and Mandy Stella, City Clerk, to execute an agreement with State Health Plans of Georgia for the year 2024.
I'll second that, Mayor.
Motion by Councilman Lawrenson, seconded by Councilman Bibb. Any discussion? All those in favor, please state aye and raise your hand.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Number 12, resolution, pharmacy services renewal, to be discussed by Councilman Lashley.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I make a motion to approve a resolution to authorize Mayor LaRonda Patrick and City Clerk Mandy Stella to execute agreements based on the recommendation from the Insurance Committee to make no change to the city's employee health plan and to renew its contract with Veracity Benefits for administering pharmacy benefits for the year 2024.
I second that motion.
Motion by Councilman Lashley, seconded by Councilman Holmes. Any discussion? All those in favor, please state aye and raise your hand. Aye. Motion carried unanimously. Number 13, a resolution for Engage Warner Robins Board appointments to be discussed by me. Be it resolved that the Mayor and Council of City of Warner Robins, acting pursuant to OCGA Section 3662-4, appoint the following individuals to the Board of Directors for Engage Warner Robins. Okay. Anthony Hayes, effective date of appointment November 6, 2023, term to expire October 17th, 2027.
I'll second that, Mayor.
No one's used to me giving motions. Who is that? All right, Councilman Bibb, seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor, please state aye and raise your hand. Motion carries unanimously. Number 14, resolution for Engage Warner Robins Board appointments to be discussed by Councilman Mack.
Thank you again, Mayor. I'd like to make a motion to approve resolution, the Mayor and Council of the City of Warner Robins, acting pursuant to OCGA number 36-62-4, appoint the following individual to the Board of Directors of Engage Warner Robins for the City of Warner Robins, and that name is Shandani Patel. Effective date of appointment is November 6, 2023, to expire October 17, 2027.
I'll second that, Mayor.
All right, motion by Councilman Mack, seconded by Councilman Bibb. Any discussion? All those in favor, please state aye and raise your hand.
Aye.
Motion carries carried unanimously. Number 15, ordinance for Code Section 1836, amendment to be discussed by Councilman Bibb.
Thank you, Mayor. I make a motion to approve the ordinance amending Chapter 18 of the City Code regarding personnel. The position of Assistant Department Director shall be added to the exiting positions listed in paragraph 2 of Section 18-36, and to the last sentence of the Section 18-36, which references the position being afforded the appeal rights set forth in Section 18-40 through 18-40 through 43 of the City Code. And I would like to waive the second reading on this.
I'll second that.
Motion by Councilman Bibb, waiving the second reading, seconded by Councilman Lawrenson. Any discussion? All those in favor, please state aye and raise your hand. Motion carries unanimously. All right, we have concluded items 1 through 15. We are now opening the floor for citizen comments. Anyone who has a comment, question, or concern that you'd like to address before council, you will have the floor for a total of 3 minutes. Please approach the podium. Please state your name and address. Please note that neither I nor council can respond to you, but we are listening. The floor is now open.
Good evening. My name is Shayna Blemon. I'm the owner of Salon Bellissima. It's 118B South Armed Forces Boulevard. I have parking in front of my salon, but there's no lines for parking. And I've called Public Works a few times, and they haven't contacted me back. People park all kind of crazy ways in front of my salon. Both of my cars been damaged while working. I have clients' cars have been damaged. Also, I have some elderly clients, and they don't have anywhere to park because there's a business next to me that has amazing, it's a restaurant that has amazing business. But when their parking lot is full, they park in front of my salon, and I don't have anywhere to park. So there's times I have to walk outside and escort my clients in because they got wheelchairs, walkers, canes. And so I wanted to see if I could get 3 parking spaces specifically for my clients in front of my salon. So they don't have an issue, and I don't have a problem walking out there. And we'll have parking lines so everybody has specific parking and no accidents. The second thing I have is my trash. They're supposed to come every Tuesday. They don't. I've called multiple times in the past couple of years. One time was a month before they came. Trash was spilling out. To take some to my house, to my dumpster at my house. There's times that people in the neighborhood ramble through my trash because my trash can is out there, sitting out there. So that's been a major issue of mine. I've called the trash company several times, and they told me that they're going to have them take pictures, that they pick it up. That lasts for a couple of weeks. Issue again. They say they pick it up, which is not true. They say I'm put in the right spot. That's not true. So I'm just getting all these back and forth issues. So these are my 2 issues that I would like to be solved. Thank you.
Ma'am, could you say your name and address one more time?
It's Shayna Blenman, Salon Bellissima. It's 118B South Armed Forces Boulevard, right next to the Empanadas restaurant.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Ms. Lemon.
State my name. My name is James Carlin, and I'm the owner of Alternative Pain Solutions and Intuition Yoga Studios at 1259 Russell Parkway. Now, first of all, thank you, Madam Mayor, and everyone today for allowing me my First Amendment right to freedom of speech.
May I interrupt and ask him to clear that of his name? I didn't understand it.
I'm sorry. Would you mind? We're going to restart your time. If you could start over for us, we had a hard time hearing you and the mic.
Yes. My name is James Carlin, and I'm the owner of Alternative Pain Solutions and Intuition Yoga Studios at 1259 Russell Parkway, Suite P, as in Paul. Okay. And so, first of all, thank you, Madam Mayor, and everyone here today for allowing me my First Amendment right to freedom of speech. And I am the second owner of Alternative Pain Solutions, and I was handed down the business by the previous medical professional because I was able to help people in an hour or less that most medical doctors can't help. Since then, I've made it my mission to open a nonprofit healing center where I not only continue to help the community for free, but I also allow medical students to get their doctorate by apprenticeship in accordance with the first rule of medicine, the Hippocratic Oath. However, I've been hindered by the rules and practices of this state and this county in particular, and I'd appreciate to get the answers in order to expand my work of helping people, and I need your help to accomplish this. Along with these rules, I've had many clients come to me saying that they were sexually abused at one of the many places with the blacked out windows and the neon signs that say massage. Many of them say the police would not allow them to report these crimes, so in 2020 I came to this exact place to inquire about those things to the mayor at the time, and Chief Wagner told me that he knew I was there before I ever said anything and that I was not allowed to speak against my First Amendment rights, and he would send an officer the next day to address my concerns, in which, without a warrant, he sent 6 officers to tell me I do not have the right to work, but the happy ending spas do because they paid their fees, and if I tried to exercise my First Amendment rights to redress grievances, they would arrest me. I have this interaction and much more on video, but 6 officers have no body cam footage, no dash cam footage, did not make a report, and pretend it doesn't exist. However, I also have an email from Mr. Wagner stating it's not his job to get my business licenses back that he took from me illegally. And since then, I've been targeted for a crime that hasn't been proven I've committed. It took me 3 years to get the video footage of the alleged crime committed, showing me not committing a crime. It was denied a fair trial and even had my jury illegally switched on me, and yet no one, and I pose this question to you here, has answered how you can switch a jury without allowing both sides to ask the jurors questions. I have yet to see that rule. I was denied an appeal, and even after paying maximum fines, I was thrown in jail for 8 days and denied my religious beliefs of food and water and medicine, and Genesis 1:29, first page of the Bible, and even denied my human right of a do not resuscitate after day 5 of no food and water to day 8. I even have a recording of Greg Bell, one of the top defenders in this town, stating that it's not who you know, but not what you know, but who you know, saying there's only one person that might be able to help me. I've even had a local business owner threaten me multiple times in person and on my Houston County crime arrest page, and I've reported him twice, and I'm told there's nothing I can do until he hurts me. All this has affected me in a very traumatic way, and I believe I'm in the right to get answers, and I need to expand my work and get compensation for the damages this has caused. How can we thrive or even live when our First Amendment rights or even our basic rights? How can we redress grievances when the people we redress them to cover it up? And I ask anyone here under their oath of office today to please honor your oath and look into these crimes, as now they have moved illegal gambling beside me a year ago, and I shouldn't be the one to have to record who goes out of illegal businesses. I just want to help teach people how to heal. Thank you for your time today, and I look forward to speaking to someone about this.
Thank you, Mr. Carlin.
And I have sworn affidavits and for your request, and I wanted to hand you.
Thank you, Mr. Carlin. Okay. Are there any others? Going once, going twice, 3 times. The door is now closed. Thank you all so much for coming out to be with us today. Thank you for sharing your comments and concerns with us. It's always great to see you and hear from you. It is our job as public servants to listen and to try to do the best that we can do for all of our citizens in Warner Robins. Now I will request a motion that we exit for executive session to discuss personnel and real estate.
Mayor, I move for us to go into executive session to discuss personnel and real estate.
I'll second that, Mayor.
Motion by Councilman Lawrenson, seconded by Councilman Bibb. All in favor, please state aye and raise your hand. Aye. Motion carries. We do not know how long we're going to take an executive session. You're welcome to camp out and wait for us to come out. Most people go home and get relaxed on their couch and watch online. There could be action that takes place once we get back, but we do not know if action will take place once we get back. But thank you. Have a wonderful beginning to the month of November, and we look forward to seeing you at our second council meeting for the month. Hello? Oh. All right. May I have a motion that we return from executive session, please?
I make a motion that we return from executive session, Madam Mayor.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Lashley, seconded by Councilman Holmes. All in favor, please state aye and raise your hand. Motion carries. We do have one action, which is a motion. I make a motion that we appoint. I make a motion that we amend the agenda to add I make a motion that we amend the agenda to add item number 16, which is a resolution, a motion for an appointment for interim fire chief.
Mayor, I make a motion to make an addition and amend the agenda to number 16, dealing with the appointment of an interim fire chief.
And I second.
All right, motion by Councilman Lawrenson, seconded by Councilman Mack. All in favor, please state aye and raise your hand.
Aye.
Motion carries. As amended, item number 16, I make a motion that we appoint the current Fire Marshal, Alan Angel, as the interim fire chief for the Warner Robins Police Department.
And I'll second.
that motion. I second that motion.
I'll second that motion.
I'll second that, Mayor.
We second that motion.
We all second.
His honor. All right. All right, so we have a motion by me and a second by everyone, but on record, we're going to put the godfather, which is Holmes. Oops. On record, we're going to put Lawrenson. I'm sorry, I need to do that over. So we got a motion by me and a second by Minnie, and we're going to put it down as a second by Councilman Lawrenson. All in favor, please state aye and raise your hand. Opposers, the same. Motion carries. That's it. All right, so that it concludes our agenda. Now it's time for council to speak, and so we can get up out of here. All right, Mac.
People of Warner Robins, tomorrow we need you to go vote. Exercise your right to vote. We had a great explanation as to why it's important to vote. You've earned that right. We have a lot of veterans out here, combat soldiers that have defended this Constitution to give you that right. So please exercise it. We have a very low number right now, so please tell a friend to go vote. And also, I'd like to, our regular season, this is a big football town. The playoffs are this Friday. And wishfully thinking, it would be great for our city. You got Houston County on one side and North Side on the other. If they can go all the way through and play for the state championship here in Warner Robins, wouldn't that be great? That would be great. And Warner Robins Demons, they're the region champs, so they're on their playoff run as well. So let's get behind these youngsters in our city as they pridefully fight for the championship this year. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Bibb.
Thank you, Mayor. Again, want to reiterate that. Please get out and vote for the one who smiles the biggest. Just saying. And we got a great team here. We're doing great things in the city. Want to keep things moving forward. Want to thank Bridget Monroe and her dedication to the MDA and the Warner Robins Fire Department for what they do. And I just want to say, go Dogs.
Thank you, Councilman Lawrenson.
Thank you, Mayor. Yeah, I want to go ahead and congratulate Mr. Lashley and Mr. Curtis for being unopposed this time, and they'll retake the seat again come January 1. So congratulate both of those fine young men. And also want to wish Mr. Bibb the best of luck, and also just piggyback on what he said about how our team has worked so well together. And I think we're getting a lot done, and I hope we're able to continue that. So hope everybody gets out and votes to make sure that happens. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Lashley.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. First off, again, it is great football in this community. I would like to say congratulations to HOCO for being city champs and county champs. they try to say it's county champs, but all 4 of those teams, well, they beat everybody in the county. Let's just put that. They even beat Perry. The other thing is this weekend, my daughter and her HOCO varsity competition cheer team will be competing again for state. They're going to be trying to defend that title. We're going to bring you another bow up here, hopefully. But yeah, that's all going on. I know Veterans has got a team in, and so does Perry. He's got a team. All of those are all going for state this weekend too. But above and beyond all that, definitely get out and vote tomorrow. There are so many big things that actually are on there that we need for this city, not only for the team that we have up here, but we got the brunch bill referendum. We also got a SPLOST on there. So please go vote.
Thank you, Councilman Holmes.
Thank you, Mayor, Council, and to the citizens. I want to thank you for the prayers for the Holmes family. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Curtis.
So I want to say good luck, Charlie, and just make sure y'all get out and exercise y'all right to vote. Go vote.
Thank you, Councilman. Thank you to all the councilmen. And they are right, we do make a really good team. We work very well together. We challenge each other. We are not yes men or women. We challenge each other to make sure we are doing the best that we can for the city. And I enjoy working with each and every person up here. Really quick, Veterans Day is coming, as was mentioned. The city does have a Veterans Day program, which is scheduled for Friday. We have a breakfast that starts at 9 a.m. at the Wellston. What's the name of the place? The Wellston Center. Yes, the Wellston Center. 9 o'clock. It was RSVP. I think we're already filled to capacity. So make sure you guys come if you RSVP. Don't have us throw away good food. Thank you. All right, and then we have the actual ceremony, which will be outside of City Hall, right here in the memorial, and that begins at 11 a.m. on Friday, Veterans Day ceremony right outside of City Hall at the memorial area. The J-Stars have officially been decommissioned, and that happened on Saturday. We celebrated, and we saw a lot of people who supported the J-Stars for a number of years. A lot of people there will be having to move and leave our community and go get PCS other places, but we are gaining 4 new missions. One of them is a Spectrum Warfare, which came out of Eglin Air Force Base, which has already come to Robbins Air Force Base. So we're looking for the rest of the missions to come through and the new people that come with them. So thanks to the J-Stars, all those that supported them in our community. We will miss you, but hopefully you are able to stay with the new missions that come in, because some people did cross-train, allowing them to stay at Robbins when the new missions come. Christmas is coming. We're having our Christmas tree lighting celebration the last Thursday of the month, the last day of November, November 30th at 5 p.m. at Perkins Field, which is our Christmas tree park. And the first Saturday, which is right after that, the Saturday after that, is our historic parade. The Table Warming Center will not be operating this season. The Table Church, we are so grateful for all that they have done the past seasons, helping bring shelter to our neighbors. And we thank them for continuing to work with us in the Homelessness Initiative. And we are looking for others who may have the same heart as Table Church and may be able to bring some options for housing our neighbors, our homeless individuals in our city during our coldest months. If you do, please contact the city as soon as you can and let us know how you're willing to help. And lastly, the city did lose one of our employees not long ago, Miss Sherry Adams. Many people know her as a former editor of the Houston Home Journal, which is our legal organ. She was a friend to many. She was my friend as well, and she is missed. So we want to make sure we recognize her for all the things she's done for the city of Warner Robins while she's worked here, and all the things she's done for our entire community, because she's been in the community for as long as many of us could think. So we want to make sure we pay respect to the family. So sorry for your loss. She is our loss as well, and we do thank her, and we look forward to paying proper respects when it comes to the military tribute that she worked on, which was her last project, and doing something really special when it comes to that event. So stay tuned for that. With that, I am going to say meeting is adjourned.